Hello and welcome to a look inside the White House. Your student council members will take you on a tour throughout this iconic building. Come on, let's take a look inside.
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is one of the most famous addresses in the world. It has been home and official workspace to every American president since the year 1800. For over 200 years, the White House has stood as a symbol of the presidency, the United States government, and the American people. This floor houses several different official rooms, including the Diplomatic Reception Room, Library, China Room, Map Room, and Vermeil Room.
The Diplomatic Reception Room is one of the three Oval Rooms. It is used as an entrance from the South Lawn and a reception room for foreign ambassadors.
The White House Library is used for teas and meetings by the President and First Lady. John Adams, the first president to live in the White House, used this room as a laundry room. It continued to be used as a laundry room until 1902, when President Theodore Roosevelt had the White House renovated. The China Room is the room that displays the White House's collection of state china. The room is primarily used by the First Lady for teas, meetings, and smaller receptions.
The Map Room was created during the Nixon administration and takes its name from its use during World War II, when it was used as a high-security situation room where maps were consulted of the war's progress.
The state floor is used for official entertaining and ceremonial functions. The following rooms are found on the state floor: Entrance Hall, Cross Hall, East Room, Green Room, Blue Room, Red Room, State Dining Room, Family Dining Room, and the Chief Usher's Office.
The entrance hall, also called the Grand Foyer, is the primary and formal entrance. The room is rectangular in shape. The Cross Hall is a broad hallway. The room is used for receiving lines following a state arrival ceremony on the South Lawn or a procession of the president and a visiting head of state and their spouses.
The East Room is used for entertaining press conferences, ceremonies, and occasionally for a large dinner. The White House's oldest possession, the 1797 Gilbert Stuart portrait of George Washington, hangs in the East Room.
The Green Room is used for small receptions and teas. During a state dinner, guests are served cocktails in the three state parlors before the President, First Lady, and visiting head of state descend the grand staircase for dinner. The room is traditionally decorated in shades of green. The Blue Room is distinct for its oval shape. The room is used for receptions, receiving lines, and it's occasionally set for small dinners. The Red Room has served as a parlor and music room, and recent presidents have held small dinner parties in it. It has been traditionally decorated in shades of red.
The State Dining Room is the larger of two dining rooms for the state floor. It is used for receptions, lunches, and larger formal dinners called state dinners. For visiting heads of state, the room seats 140 guests.
The Family Dining Room is used for smaller, more private meals. Today, the President uses the Family Dining Room less for family and more for working, lunches and small dinners. Family dinners are more often served on the second floor in the President's Dining Room.
The second floor contains the private living apartments of the President and the First Family. The following rooms are found on the second floor: Yellow Oval Room, Treaty Room, President's Dining Room, Lincoln Bedroom, Lincoln Sitting Room, Queen's Bedroom, Queen's Sitting Room, Center Hall, East Sitting Hall, and West Sitting Hall. The Truman Balcony is also located on this floor. 4 private bedrooms and a dressing room are reserved for the President. Different presidents have used various rooms as their bedroom.
The Yellow Oval Room was first used as a drawing room by John Adams. It has been used as a library, office, and family parlor. Today, the Yellow Oval Room is used for small receptions and for greeting heads of states immediately before a state dinner.
The Treaty Room is a part of the First Family's private apartments and is used as a study by the President. The President's Dining Room was created in 1961 during the administration of John F. Kennedy to provide a dining room in the First Family's residence. The room has previously been used as a bedroom and a sitting room. The President's Dining Room is adjacent to a small kitchen and serviceable by a dumbwaiter connecting to the main kitchen on the ground floor. The Lincoln Bedroom is named for Abraham Lincoln and was used by him as an office. The room is best known as a guest room by the presidents to reward friends and political supporters.
The West Wing is the location of the Oval Office, Cabinet, and Roosevelt Room. Let's take a look at what goes on in the President's Cabinet.
It was fascinating. The Great Wall was very cool.
I was going to say.
One of the things I'm most proud of is the cabinet we've assembled. I mean, you've got extraordinarily talented people in each of these fields. A lot of them are doing such a good job that they don't meet with me much because they're like the good students in class. They are just handling their business really well. Well, hello everybody. It is good to see you guys.
We try to do a cabinet meeting every 2 months. The meetings run about an hour and a half. What we'll do is talk to a lot of different folks within the White House, the policy folks, the Chief of Staff's office, the communications office, and find out what are the important initiatives that we want to talk to the cabinet about, and also talk to the cabinet as well about the issues that they think are important to discuss with the president. So there's a series of internal meetings to discuss that, and we hammer out an agenda after that. Iraq, Afghanistan, the Asia trip, jobs.
I think that there should probably be robust discussion of job creation.
This is a huge kind of 6-7 weeks that's coming up, and a lot of the budget and obviously the war decision and a bunch of other things that are coming down the pike. So
each president has the discretion to decide who's in this cabinet. There are the heads of the 15 executive departments who are always in the cabinet. These are the people who are in the line of succession after the president and vice president. And then there are a number of folks who have cabinet rank. In our administration, that would be the head of OMB, EPA, the chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors, the U.S. Trade Representative, and the ambassador to the United Nations.
We haven't had coffee service in the past. Maybe because it's an afternoon meeting, they want to give them a little caffeine. I'm not sure.
Post-its or something to label our oh, yeah, that's right. I got trying to figure out. Are they? Oh, hey.
Hey, there are the Post-its, right?
There we go. Okay.
I've worked for the president since he was in the U.S. Senate, so I'm very used to sitting behind him at meetings. But to now sit in a cabinet meeting in the historic cabinet room, you're just surrounded by the history of this institution. It's humbling.
Cabinet offices were created as soon as the Constitution was ratified and the government was established in 1789 under the new Constitution.
The first cabinet meeting, I understand from 1793, the president had his 4 cabinet members there. We now have 25 people around a table. Each of the cabinet members sit in a certain seat depending on when their department was created.
It's still tradition that a cabinet officer have the opportunity of taking the chair away, himself or herself, to buy the chair from the government. It's one of those great souvenirs of being a cabinet officer.
The cabinet meeting is one of the few times that I'm aware of where the Secret Service allows the entire cabinet to be in one place at one time. As you know, during State of the Union addresses, we typically ask one member of the cabinet to sit out. These are closed sessions, and the president really welcomes frank, unvarnished advice from his advisors.
I want to, number one, make sure that they know that they have my ear. The second thing is to reinforce a real strong sense of camaraderie that the cabinet members have built among themselves.
What's going on? When I hug him, it means a lot more than sending him an email.
There still is something to the human interaction that you only get from in-person meetings.
Well, I don't think there's any substitute for the entire cabinet coming together. These cabinet meetings are an incredible way for everybody to communicate, for everyone to really understand what the issues are, and to help us all get on the same page so that we can advance the president's priorities.
Today we're going to be focusing a lot on jobs because obviously with the economy is in such a hole, one of the things that we want to make sure of is that we leave no stone unturned when it comes to helping people get jobs.
What we've typically done is bring the president at the end of the meeting. The cabinet meeting is an important symbol of government at work.
The primary focus of our discussion today, though, had to do with the same thing that Americans sitting across kitchen tables all across the country are focused on, and that is jobs and the economy.
You would think that in a world like the one we're living in, where you can communicate with anybody in the world at literally a flick of a mouse, or some other picking up a cell phone, that you wouldn't need a lot of face-to-face meetings. But in fact, I think that it's not only as important as it always was in the era before instantaneous communication, but to some extent even more so that people can look each other in the eye, they can watch the body language, and they can work together to get to the resolution of whatever the issue is. So these cabinet meetings give everybody a chance to do that.
This is one of the biggest problems, that people walk out of here without their BlackBerries. So now I have to actually go find out who all these BlackBerries belong to. So, all right, so Chu has walked out without, Carol's walked out.
The Oval Office is where the president meets with foreign leaders, and some of the most formal speeches are given and televised in the oblong-shaped office. No matter what furniture or paintings are chosen in the office, 2 items must remain in place behind the desk of every president: the American flag and the presidential flag.
The Rose Garden is overlooked by the cabinet room, which you just saw. Speeches have been held here by various presidents and very important people.
Do you ever wonder what a president does in his spare time or to relax? Well, he probably goes to the bowling alley and has some fun instead of doing all his hard work. The bowling alley is a family fun room for the president and his family. The bowling alley has 2 lanes, so if you ever wondered about the White House bowling alley, you just found out.
We're Student Council, and we want you to vote.